What is a good way to learn self-forgiveness and acceptance, even though we choose our path? Sometimes the path we choose riddles us with shame and guilt, even though it is the right path for our soul. Well, the fact that you recognize that is just so incredible, and I want to commend you for just noting that, because it is hard when we're in these situations where we're like, how would I even forgive this person? How would I accept that this is the path that I chose, or this is the situation that I chose? And a lot of times that comes with our deepest heartbreaks. But as I've said many times, the deepest, most profound heartbreaks are also the biggest opportunities to heal at the core of the wound, so that we can let more light come in and more light shine out. So kudos to you for really jumping in on the journey, and even phrasing the question that way, right? That's so helpful that you're at that level of just asking the question. So what is a good way to learn self-forgiveness? You got to get in there and just realize that it's the mind that is telling you you are all those things. Yes, you've probably done things that were not from the best place. Let's just say it like that. But you don't have to dwell on that. That was a decision you made that got you to where you are. And a lot of times we have to make a lot of crappy decisions in our life to realize that we don't want to be there. And look, we've all repeated a lot of lessons, different level of lessons, but they're all lessons of the heart. They're all our heart's longing to feel love. And we get stuck thinking that we need to feel love and acceptance from other people. And that's where the jam up happens. Because the love and acceptance has to start from within ourselves. And that's where you got to go, is deep within you. You got to accept yourself for all of the things that you want to say are failures, and reframe them as your big lessons, your big lessons, right? Look, I have so many lessons that I have put myself to learn. And if you haven't already read Angels, Herpes, and Psychedelics, I'm very vulnerable. I share some of the most embarrassing lessons of my life. I felt like I should have known better. I did know better. Why did I get into it? And when I took myself off the cross and I realized, because there was a deep lesson in there that I called myself in to learn. And yeah, people can read it and be like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. And then you did it again, and then you did it again. And it's like, I did, because I had to learn the lesson, and I chose to take it the long road home, right? But when we get home and we know who we really are, and that is the awakening ascension journey, that's where the bliss is. But the bliss is always there. It's just our mind and unraveling it that gets us to this place where we can see the lesson, so we don't have to keep repeating them. So take this forgiveness and acceptance as an inside job that you need to just sit with and reframe yourself, and stop blaming others, number one, if you are, and number two, stop blaming yourself, because you called it in. You chose to do it, repeat it, and live this life. And you even acknowledge that. You said sometimes the path we choose riddles us with shame and guilt, even though it is the right path for our soul. Stay on that path. This is your soul's journey that you chose to have before you came in. And in every moment of now, you have the choice that you can make to change the trajectory of where you're headed. And that's where it feels like you're at, my friend, at this really incredible place to be able to take a different road. And all that you learned from all of the decisions that you're saying are, bad, are probably the things that you're here to teach, and to teach others by example. So we don't need to look at all of this stuff as bad. When we heal ourselves and we shine the light and we show the way for others, that's so beautiful. And I feel that's really where you're headed with this, is you're asking all the right questions, and you're going deep, and just stay present to know that your heart is whole, and that through the illusional veil, we have to do these lessons that we set ourselves up for. And so sometimes that's a blocked heart, a broken heart, a healing heart, right? That gets us to that whole heart. All right. Sending much love to you on that. Let's go to the next question. I am always so appreciative of all the questions that you ask. Please go to bethbell.me. There's so much happening over there. Lots of new stuff being launched. You can ask more questions. There is the Awaken Inner Wisdom community membership coming. It may already be there if you're watching this on replay. Please come to bethbell.me. The Awakening Healing Handbook, Psychedelics Resource Guide, Herpes Handbook, so many resources, the Angels, Herpes, and Psychedelics book if you haven't read it. I would love to share more stories with you, more insights, more wisdom, and I can't wait to see you next week. Please join me 11:11 Sunday mornings. All right, until then, wishing you much bliss and love.